there, it's Jen, and thank you for joining me on the Joy Clair channel today. Today I am creating a card with a digital image from a Joy Clair, as well as with some Rinea Foil. Joy Clair and Rinea are having a collaboration for the month of October, and so I will be using some of their foils in my card today. This pack that I am using is called Haunted Variety Pack. It is really super pretty paper. This is the artist pack. It's a 4x6 size. So they have 3 colors, the black, the green, and the orange, all with little stars on them. And then they have just some regular foil in black, orange, and green. And then on the reverse side of that, it is gold. So this is really, it's not stiff paper, but it's stiff enough where you can create dimensional items. But today I'm just going to put it on a card. And so I have chosen this stamp set from Joy Clair September release, and this is called Sweet Halloween. And so this is going to be a really quick and easy card to do. I've chosen this sentiment that says boo along with the 3 little ghosts. And I'm just grabbing some paper from my stash. This is a We Are Memories paper at 12 by 12 from 2013, so it's probably not available, but you can grab whatever paper you have from your stash. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut my pieces, and I don't have a set measurement in mind. I'm just kind of eyeballing it for the width that I want the paper to be. And I'm going to be using the orange and the black. And as I mentioned, this paper is stiff enough where you can create dimensional items. On Rinea's website, on their YouTube channel, they have like a rose. Somebody created a rose with the papers. That's really super beautiful. So there's a lot you can do with these papers, and they also come in a bigger size than this 4x6 trading cards. So they come in bigger sheets than that in case you had bigger projects to do. So for my card, I am taking a die from my stash. This is actually, I believe it's a Hello Bluebird border set, and I just took one of the dies and cut that pattern paper. And what I'm going to do is put the black piece of a foil underneath that pattern paper, so I want to adhere that first. So I'm taking my tape runner and I'm trying to line up where I want that foil paper to make sure that it's going to be covered fully. I don't know if you can hear the kids in the background. The door is shut, but they are very loud. So if you can hear that, I apologize. And then I'm going to take the pattern paper and use my double-sided or my tape adhesive on that as well, and just layer that on top of that foil. And then I will adhere the orange piece the same way. And then I'm going to take that little leftover piece that I had left over from when I used the die, and that's going to go kind of to trim up or make that area look, the transition between the 2 papers look a little bit better. And so I adhered that with my tape runner as well. And then I'm going to go ahead and color up my ghosts. I'm using my Copic Chow markers in C0 and C3, and then I also take the blender just to blend out some of those gray colors. So I chose to use the standard white ghosts. I would have loved to use a different color, but because my colors on my card are already orange, black, and green, I didn't really want to sway too far from that. So I just stuck with the coloring the ghosts in a gray. And I will use my scan and cut to cut these out. They are not difficult, I imagine, to cut out with fussy cutting, but I don't cut very well with fussy cutting, and so every chance I get now, I use the scan and cut to cut out my images. And I did use the scan and cut as well to cut around the BOO letters. And then I took a piece of twine for the side of the card, and since I put the twine on there, I couldn't put the card flat onto the card base. And so I'm using a very, very thin foam to adhere to the back to account for that, the thickness of the twine. And this foam is great to use when you just want it a little bit raised off of the card. I know some of the tape foams are a little bit thicker, but this is perfect if you just want a little bit of dimension, and it is super inexpensive. I believe I probably got this either from the Dollar Tree or from Walmart. It came in a big stack of lots of different colors, but this is great for just a little bit of height on your card. And so I'm going to go ahead and adhere that with my tape runner. And I'm going to mat this on a piece of 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 black cardstock. I did trim my panel down a little bit on around all the sides just to make sure that I could mat it against a black background. And so I will go ahead and mat that and then adhere the entire panel to my 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 card base. And once I have that down, I went ahead and grabbed some little enamel stars from my stash, and now I'm going to take all of my elements and adhere them. So as I mentioned, I went ahead and I used that same foam that I used for the back of the card to adhere all of my pieces to the front of the card. So it gives just a little bit of dimension, but not too much, which is also good when mailing your card, because it adds just enough to give it a little bit of height, but not so much that you would need to have the card hand stamped or have to pay extra postage. So I'm going to add my little ghosts and finish up this card. I do take my glitter pen and put a little bit of glitter on the ghosts, but that pretty much finishes the card off. And this is a cute little card that you could give to either an adult or a child. I don't think it would be too kitty-like, I guess, to give to an adult. But that's it for me. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did like it or find it informative, please go ahead and give a thumbs up. As always, thank you so much for taking some time out of your day to join me, and I hope to catch you next time.